Craig.
I heard. Takes
Now
a second.
recording.
And we're back with another riveting episode of Two Guys, Two Seamen. Well, one guy and two seamen. So the guy's outnumbered. It is Wednesday, October the 2nd, 2024. And Brian, the Braves suck.
Is that the
Hey.
case, huh?
It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
Why
There's
is Joe
still an
Musgrove walking off?
He might be hurt.
That's unacceptable.
That's scary. That's not good.
That is not good. Take it away, Brian.
Yeah, sorry. I was doing an update to my TV. I didn't realize we were starting that quickly. My bad. So we have some football to get to. We got some news to touch base on, and then we'll get some reactions live, I'm sure, throughout. But we have the MLB playoffs have started, so some teams have already moved on, and some teams are fighting to move on tonight. But first, we had two historical sport icons pass away this week. Dikembe Mutombo passed away at the age of 58 from brain cancer.
Did you know he had brain cancer?
I did not. I may have known it. I might have
either.
known when the story broke originally, but if it broke, I don't recall.
I don't remember that at all.
But definitely one of the greatest human beings ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Just from the standpoint of humanitarian, that guy was one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
He did so much for just everybody. It didn't matter if it was sports related, and there is not one person that you can find that says something bad about him. Not one.
Unless they got the wagon in the face, maybe.
Well,
right after that.
yeah, maybe, yeah. But LeBron could. He got elbowed and fractured his face from Dikembe Mutombo back in 2004. Maybe he could say something
Welcome to
negative,
the league.
but other than that, you can't find anybody. And then a baseball absolute legend, Pete Rose, passed away as well at 83. Your all's thoughts on that?
He's
Well,
the greatest hitter of all time.
Yeah, definitely the hit king.
Yeah, he has the most hits, and it's like not even close. It's gonna take. I don't think anyone. Maybe if Luis Ariz plays like fucking 15 more years, he might be able to catch him. But like you have to be hitting everything. He was the best. He was the best hitter of all time, and he's never gonna get in the Hall of Fame. I still don't think he'll be in the Hall of Fame after this.
I mean, it was a lifetime ban, and he served that ban, right?
Yeah,
His life is so. I mean, I feel like he deserves to be put in post. Yeah, I think he should definitely get put in.
I mean, he gambled on stuff, you know. I mean, don't we all gamble on stuff? Let's just let him in.
To be fair, though, he did it as a coach or a manager. Excuse me, as a manager.
I know.
Not as a player.
I excluded that on purpose.
I know. What I mean is, like, the player should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The player. and also too, I get it. You don't want people betting on the sport that you are involved in, but he was betting them to win.
Yeah, but in baseball, you can
You know?
play a lot differently, though. If you're really, really trying to win, you can play a lot differently than you would normally play.
Risk more injuries, possibly.
You risk
You know,
using pitchers more than you should, using starting pitchers to close out innings and things like that.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of things. You could put pinch. You could do. There's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah. And then we had a couple famous actors and actresses pass away this past week too. It's been a rough week for infamous people. And then obviously, those are famous people, but also thoughts and prayers need to go out to anybody affected by the hurricane last week too. I don't know what the death count is to now, but it's crawling higher and higher and higher. So,
I mean, historic floods. Those floods, the videos are just insane.
Oh yeah,
just insane. Just what nightmares are made of. People seeing like this flood just coming directly at them, taking away people's houses and cars as they watch, as it goes around their house. It's wild.
I saw some guy live streaming inside of his house while he was on a kayak in his house.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And his lights were still on, which was like, oh geez, that made you swoon around in a live house. Which I don't know how he didn't lose power.
His drywall must have been holding up pretty well.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get some relief down there to all those places affected, and start the rebuild process. It's the deadliest hurricane on U.S. soil since Katrina.
Wow.
And obviously we all remember Katrina and what that did.
Yeah. Wiped out New Orleans. Just could have waited for a different time.
Like
4 years
later. 4
later.
years later.
Yep. I just wanted to take out Sean Payton. That's all. Fuck that guy. Fuck him and Greg Williams.
All right. Before we get into recapping this past weekend of NFL games, this week Devante Adams requested a trade officially. Remember, it was rumored a couple weeks ago that he wanted out, but he denied any claims, and now it's official that he has requested a trade. Where do you all anticipate him landing? When do you think it'll happen? And just note that he apparently has made a list where the Jets and Saints are the top two teams.
I mean, if I had to put money on it, I'd say the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most obvious choice. Just because, he has that connection with Rodgers and they can go Doc or something to make their connection. But I think maybe the Saints. The Saints kind of need it. They kind of need that. Yep. They have good receivers, but I don't think they have a WR1. Olave's good, but I don't know if he's a WR1. He's been put in that role, but where's fucking Michael? I forget his name now. He's just
Michael Thomas. I don't think he's on the Saints anymore.
Is he in the league?
He had a toe injury for 3 straight years.
Yeah, so they need help. I'll go with Saints.
But they also have Derek Carr, which, everybody knows that Derek Carr was in the Raiders, and what did that do?
Well,
it didn't do anything.
But
that was not Derek Carr's fault. That was Raiders just being a dumpster fire of an organization.
Didn't
What they promised Devante
Adams
Adams and what he got was not what they promised. He's in the situation he's in right now is not what he signed up for when he joined them. You know,
didn't he join
I
him
think
for Derek Carr? He that was one of the reasons he chose the
Yes.
Raiders was because of Derek Carr.
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
His Fresno State buddy.
yeah, so
Yep.
I mean, it makes it now it makes even more sense because they're buddies. So we'll see. I just hope that he doesn't go to the Packers.
From everything that I'm reading, it doesn't sound like that's
Okay.
an option. No.
Okay, good.
I think it'd be great because you know for a fact that the quarterback's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know that. You know that for a fact. So can you trust Derek Carr? Can you know Aaron Rodgers is done in a season or two, you know? So
How much more time does Devante Adams have?
he's only 31. I say only, but you know,
You
he
say,
could I know, but he could have I don't
2
know,
more years?
3 or 4, 3 or
You
4.
think 3 or 4 top end?
Personally, I think he's the best route running receiver in the league. I don't think he's the best receiver in the league, but route running, he's the best.
It's a toss up between him and Keenan Allen.
Yeah, but to be fair, he's more available than Keenan. You can't trust Keenan to be available. You know.
True.
Yeah.
That's the only
How many games
downfall
has
to
he
that.
played this season? Keenan Allen. 2?
Yeah, he's not been playing this year,
Half,
but
yeah.
he kind of shook that moniker the last few seasons in Chargers. He had 1,000-yard seasons and was Pro Bowler, but
So just because we brought him up, I just looked up what happened with Michael Thomas. So the Saints released him 7 months ago.
Good.
So after the season was over. And he is currently facing 2 misdemeanor charges from an incident that happened November 10th of last year. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
he's not playing football.
He is not playing right now.
Okay, so he's done. I don't anticipate him coming back. How old is he? He's probably like 30 something.
He was born in 93, so it's 4 years younger than me, so he's 31.
31, same age as
Yeah.
Devante.
Yep.
Played about a third of the games Devante's played.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I guess technically he could come back, but I don't know to what. All right.
To get injured more?
Yeah. All right. Let's recap Sunday's games. Speaking of the Saints, they lost to the Falcons 26-24. This game was just on red zone for me. Didn't really pan into it that much that I remember. You all's anything to add about this game?
Yeah, the game was pretty close. Sorry, go ahead, Michael.
Oh no, go ahead.
I don't really have much to say. I was just gonna say that the game was close
I don't have.
and Younghoe Koo hit a last-second field goal to win it. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it just I think it's anybody's division down there in the NFC South, kind of what we thought. But I think it looked like the Buccaneers were the front runners till this game. Kirk Cousins starting to get a little chemistry. Doesn't look like he's at risk of losing his job to Penix just yet. So, yeah, good for the Falcons.
Unless he does something absolutely catastrophic, I don't think he's going to lose the job this year.
I will say for the betting people out there, I'm with you. Kyle Pitts having 0 receptions was fucking bullshit. and something needs to change. Raheem Morris, I know you don't believe in stats because I don't know, you're just a weirdo, but give Kyle Pitts the ball. Like, you have all these pieces and you just don't fucking use them. They could have fucking destroyed the Saints if they would have just used the weapons they have, but they don't.
Is he getting the treatment that Travis Kelce gets, where he's just double teamed all the time?
I don't think so. He only had 3 targets.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why
How are you gonna
they're-
double team him and then have Drake London and Bijan and all these other players that are gonna cook you?
Darnell
You would
Mooney.
think.
You would think, but I don't know. I
Well,
don't know what they're doing.
Bijan hasn't done hardly anything yet. I
They haven't
mean,
given it to him. They're not giving them to him. How many carries did he
he
have?
has 55 carries over 4 games. So yeah, that's like 10, 11. Yeah, 10 or 11 carries a game. So yeah, that's not very good.
No.
He's averaging 4 yards a carry though, so that's pretty good. You just gotta up that.
Yeah. Up the number of carries.
No touchdown passes in this game. Both quarterbacks almost identical passing stats.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Average game.
I
Yeah,
think the NFL, just in general, this season, there's just been really not great quarterback play. But I also think that's a symptom of the bad offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really bad offensive line play.
well, also too, passing touchdowns are down over last year at this time overall for the league. So more focused on run and defense, and that just seems to be more the focus when you compare stats through week 4 of last year compared to this year. I don't know why that would be.
I think it's like with the added game on the season, a lot of players aren't playing in the preseason. Everybody's worried about
Right.
getting injured in the preseason, so they're getting rested. And it used to be you would all starters would get at least one game. They'd have a dress rehearsal game. They'd get into the preseason at least once. But now these teams are using the first like 3 to 4 weeks as their preseason. So I think we just saw the real preseason, and now week 5 we should see real football. So now the real season starts.
Vikings
Now it does.
didn't. Look what the Vikings did.
Hey, preseason gods, you know.
Yeah, but we are 4-0 and
I'm joking. I was just
the
calling
Kansas
the
City
first 4
Chiefs are
weeks of the
4-0.
regular season.
And those are the only undefeated teams right now.
And the refs with them.
Yeah, the refs. The Kansas City refs.
All right. The Bengals finally got a win. How about that?
Finally.
They finally won. 34-24 over the Panthers, the new look Panthers.
Congrats, you beat the Panthers, who were supposed to be the worst team in the NFL going into the season.
Hey, they got the Red Rocket. The Red Rocket is just able to run an offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's simple as that. I mean, like, I don't think Bryce Young has too much more skill or has less skill than Andy Dalton. He can't comprehend doing an offense. Because he doesn't run a pro style offense in Alabama, do they?
No.
Yeah.
No. They actually run a multi-level offense. They do all different types of things, but depending on the quarterback, it's most of the time it's shotgun formation. We just spread them out. So that's pretty much how Alabama runs it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think the Panthers are pretty good. Not pretty good. That's way too high. Not so
Pre-
bad.
Pretty
They're
good
not
would be
as
above average.
they're not as bad as
No.
we thought they were.
Not so bad.
Maybe Canales is a good coach.
Maybe. If they win another game,
Hey, home run Braves.
maybe. Yeah, Soler.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if they win one more game, I think they're going to be just average, and just the beginning of the season was just the Bryce Young experiment. Is he going to end up like Rosen?
Ooh,
I don't know.
I don't know. That's
It's possibly turning into that situation where you remember the Cardinals, they had Rosen and then they tanked and got rid of him and took the #1 pick. And this could exactly happen just like that.
Well, they offloaded all their talent, so I think whoever's running that team was looking at tanking this season anyways, but it's kind of weird to think that you'd want to tank with Bryce Young if you guys believed in him, but I mean, I think everybody was surprised that they took Bryce Young.
But do you stay with
Yes.
Bryce Young, or do you stay with Bryce Young? You just stick with him?
Oh, you can't now. You can't now. You've completely destroyed his confidence. He was already playing like shit before, and now you took his confidence away.
He looked really bad.
might
That
as well-
game that against the
might as well
Chargers,
trade him.
man, he was throwing
Yeah.
some ducks.
He needs to just be traded then, so he can go somewhere new and they can get something for him. Maybe a
Trade him.
2028 7th round pick. But trade him.
Trade him to the Browns. Browns seem to like to take crazy shit, you know, because I mean, I think this is the last year of Deshaun Watson, so you might as well, try to get something to replace him. And Nick Chubb is back on the practice squad. Did you all see that today?
Yep.
That was released today.
21 days to return.
Yep. So that's awesome news for him.
Yeah, it is. And for me, because I have him in my dynasty league. So very important.
All right. One of the two ugliest games of the day, the Denver Broncos and the Jets. Now, weather played a huge factor in this. It was a torrential downpour at some points of the game. The wind was out of control. It was just a mess. It was a rough game for both teams. When the final score is 10-9, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Is it?
Thank God for Red Zone.
Yeah, and thank God I don't live in New York or Denver.
Right.
I would have to be forced to watch that game. Is it panic time in New York?
I don't think Robert
2-2, right?
Saleh and Aaron
Yes,
Rodgers are fans of each other. Have you guys heard the little bickering kind of going back and forth?
I've heard it.
But also, too, out of Rodgers' own mouth, he said that there's nothing to worry about. Now, can you believe that? I don't know. But, I mean, what else are you going to go off of? I mean, you got to go off what the people say, you know? And, I mean, he told Pat McAfee there's nothing wrong between us. So
that means there's definitely something wrong between them.
No, he does. I don't think he lies to Pat. I don't think he lies to Pat.
He's not lying to Pat. He's talking to the entire world. He's not talking to Pat.
Well, no. This was on Pat's show. No. This was on Pat's show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was broadcast on fucking ESPN.
No, I know that. I know.
Broadcast
I think
everywhere. He's
Aaron
not
Rodgers
talking
is very
to
aware
Pat.
of his
He is talking to
platform.
everyone.
No, I get that. I'm saying it's not in front of the.
Of course, he's gonna say that.
It's not in front of the media after the game. He says something different to the reporters after the game.
So
and then he speaks differently in front of, on ESPN. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but also if you were not having a great relationship with your head coach and you get asked, would you lie and say everything's good, or would you say, yeah, we're struggling right now and we suck? and we can't talk to each other and can't communicate.
Well, he said it both ways. I don't know. Which way do you believe?
I believe that
I don't know.
I don't know. Sounds fishy.
Well, there might be, because there's only one real reason why Nathaniel Hackett is the offensive coordinator. We all know that. It's
True.
Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Saleh has nothing to do with the offense. Zero. That's not why Robert Saleh is there.
He's a defensive coach.
Yes. So I think that in itself would cause a rift between them. Because the head coach is supposed to have full control, and
Yep.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does have full control. But
No.
we'll see. We've gotten 4 games in.
We should have known this. This is the Broncos' revenge on Nathaniel Hackett after he took revenge last year.
That's true. They had no business beating the Broncos last year.
No.
Zero business. And they did. It was god awful Zach Wilson. Oh. All right. Chad, your Minnesota Vikings are 4-0. Congratulations. We're up 28-0 on the Packers. It was a awful showing to start the game for us. Awful showing. And then, just like Alabama, you took your foot off the gas. You took your foot off the gas.
Yep.
And allowed, the Packers to make a game of it. And I said it. You didn't hear me say it, Chad. Sunday morning when we were doing this, I didn't agree with Love coming back. I thought it was too early. Malik Willis was playing well, and he hadn't lost. So
Yeah.
keep him in there. Make sure Jordan Love's 100%. You could easily tell in that game he was not 100%. He was not even close.
Yeah, he's getting
His
ass beat down.
He couldn't push off that leg. I mean, he couldn't move. I mean, it looked bad for him.
Well, if you looked
He
at
did
my
not look
fantasy score,
100%.
you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that helps when he throws 3 touchdowns. But he also threw 3 picks. So
Throw 4
that's
touchdowns.
nice. Was it 4?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it was 4. Okay.
But they did the right thing. Matt LaFleur actually did the right thing, and he went for 2, down 14 with a touchdown. He went for 2. So they were only down 6. It was 28-22 at one point.
Yep.
Which that means that if that's the analytics say to do that, and he did it, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
That scared me when he did that. I was like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur's not as stupid as I thought he was." Fuck.
Yeah.
What was with Matt LaFleur? He was throwing a tantrum on the sideline there too. He cost his team a 15-yard
I don't
penalty.
know.
Thankfully, Love bailed him out.
Being a baby back bitch about something.
Forgot what that was
he
about.
wasn't even right.
Oh, it was the touchdown. It was some player caught the ball.
He
and
wasn't
he
even
didn't...
correct at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like it clearly wasn't caught in the end zone. And when it was actually caught was at the 1 yard, or like in between the 1 and the goal line. That's when it was caught. And he was trying to say that he caught it before. No, he didn't catch it before. There was no catch until he made firm control of it. Was between the 1 and the goal line.
I think he was like trying to call a timeout too, and they weren't paying attention to him, so he was getting pissed.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Crybaby.
Didn't matter.
All right, Texans beat the Jaguars.
Continue to bet against. I will continue to pick against the Vikings from now on. Because if I pick them, they're gonna lose. Sorry.
Well,
keep going.
Kyle did say that. No, Kyle did say that Sunday morning. He's like, yeah, Chad only did that to make sure the Vikings won. So,
Yep.
he did say that.
Yep. I'll sacrifice it. I don't care.
All right, Texans beat the Jaguars 24-20. Pretty solid showing, I guess, from Jacksonville, but they still
They're bad.
still can't get it done. They can't close. They're 0-4 now. Just
They're bad.
awful. Is it time now for them to think about moving on from Lawrence?
They
I
just
think-
paid him. They just named the stadium after him. It's Trevor Banks Stadium.
Oh, that was
Sorry.
one day. That was for a day. That was not permanent. That was for a day.
It's just
Um,
it's just so funny when that contract happened and they got shit on and all these Jaguar fans came and defended it. This is your guy? You like starting 0-4, you dumbasses? Like, I mean, he averaged a losing season before the season. And he's had multiple winning seasons. Which is crazy.
Daniel Jones has comparable, if not better, stats.
Yep.
Wins and losses and interceptions and touchdowns.
and yet he still came back from a 27-0 deficit in the playoffs.
Oof.
Right?
That's all the Jaguars have to hang their hat on.
Damn.
Is that why he got paid?
That's probably
for
why
that
he got
one
paid.
Have you seen the Niners defense besides against the Patriots? They have Brandon Staley. There's a reason. Staley's garbage. He can't hurt us anymore.
The Pittsburgh Steelers finally lost a game. They lost to the Colts, but
They lost because of Joe Flacco.
Yep.
Flacco knows the Steelers.
Yes, he does. Very much so. And then, Richardson got hurt again. I feel bad for the guy. He was a high draft pick. What was he? Was he second overall?
Third.
Was it third? Okay. But man, just another injury for him. It's just that guy can't catch a break, man.
Right?
Oh, it was a hip.
It was a hip.
He hurt his hip during the game,
And then got a concussion.
And then he got hit. Let's see what it says. Richardson was a limited participant at Wednesday's practice due to an oblique strain.
Oh, okay.
So who knows what the hell? He's got everything hurting right now.
Jesus.
Yeah, he took a straight shot right to the hip.
Oof.
That was the first injury that he suffered on Sunday, and then he got hit right in the face when he went to slide. He was the 4th overall pick, by the way.
Fourth.
But still, top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for him that he missed pretty much all last season, and now you got the start of this season. Consistent injuries happening. So, but they won. They won. I count Joe Flacco out, man. He continues to win games.
Yep.
Just what he does.
Yep. If I would have known Joe Flacco would have been in this game, I would have picked the Colts. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
hey, at least they have a good backup. I think, Joe Flacco is clearly the best backup in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Not even a debate on that one. He's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he has won Super Bowl. 2013.
The Bears won at home against the Rams. Rams are not looking good at all.
They're injured. They're not good.
Yeah.
They're not good.
Yeah.
I thought they might be good after coming back against the 49ers, but that was a fluke.
When you lost your 2 best receivers, it's pretty hard to overcome that in a passing league.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're banged up everywhere. McVay's a good coach, but I was surprised they won the previous week. I think we all were.
Yeah, they should be 0-4, but they did beat the 49ers. All right. Tampa Bay absolutely obliterated the Eagles. Just dominated. Tampa Baker has looked great again. 2 passing touchdowns. You got another rushing touchdown. It's 2 games in a row he's got a rushing touchdown. How about that? You know?
Yeah.
And now I just had an alert earlier today. DraftKings wants me to bet for him to get another rushing touchdown this coming week, which is tomorrow. But the moment I bet for it, that's when it's not going to happen.
Yep.
The chances of him getting it 3 in a row is not looking good, or doesn't appear to be good, like a good bet to make. But how's the thing? How are fans in Philly after this?
It's not good. It's not good. They're I mean, clearly they're bad. Like, they have issues. I mean, so AJ Brown and Devontae Smith were out, which is huge. I mean, 2 of the best wide receivers, one of the best duos in the league, if not the best. When Jalen Hurts is throwing the ball correctly to them. But
and their third is Jahan Dotson, who's pretty dang good. So when you have all 3 of their starters, that's a really good.
He did not look good. He did not.
Well, I mean, he's not a number 1. I'm just saying, if he's the number 3 option, he's a solid option, I think.
Maybe.
But, yeah.
From what I've seen, he's pretty bad.
I would think Goddard would be the third option.
Goddard was used a lot.
He was, yeah, but I'm just saying in general, I think he'd be the third option.
He is the third option. He's the third option. It's him, then Goddard, then Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson's only been there for like 4 weeks, so Goddard's
maybe he's still learning the offense. But when he was good in Washington, he had some pretty solid games.
Yep, do y'all know John Ross is in the team?
Yes. Yes, he's like 37.
Dude, I haven't seen that name in forever.
He's like 36 or 37. That number?
I don't think he's that old.
No, that's the number he's wearing.
Oh.
It looks so
he's wearing number 38.
38, that's
number
it.
38.
So weird.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
But
yeah, the Eagles are bad.
Yeah, dude.
People here are not happy.
Baker threw for almost 350,
gone.
Man.
They want Sirianni gone. Yeah, that's not good.
He almost threw for 350.
That's not acceptable. Holy shit.
He was 30 of 47 for 347.
He's one of the quarterbacks who actually signed a recent contract that's living up to the contract.
Yep.
Mike Evans gets in the end zone again. That's seems to be a trend. Another almost 100-yard game for him.
Awesome. He's back.
He's
back to his old, like, 1 touchdown 100 yards games every week.
He's right now, and I expect his production to pick up, but as of right now, he is projected only 910 yards receiving, and that would be his first and only season under 1,000 yards. But it's close enough. I think he'll start picking it up and do better, because those first 3 games were awful by his standards.
Yeah, I mean, he looked way better this game. He looked like the old Mike Evans, for sure.
Absolutely. We need to start having a real conversation about the Commanders. They're looking good.
They are in the top 5, 6, or 7 of the NFL.
And Dan Quinn, he's a good coach.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels, really, really good.
Yeah, and Jaden Daniels, very good. Better than okay. Offensive rookie of the year front runner.
I have a coworker of mine. He's a Commanders fan. Grew up a Redskins fan, and just it's been a rough life for him. And he's like, I talked to him today. Actually, he goes, "I'm gonna pump the brakes. I want to wait. Get me through week 6 first, and then let's start talking about them. Let's see what happens over the next 2 weeks. They have Cleveland and Baltimore. I know Cleveland's not much of anything, but that could be like a trap game, you know. But he's like, let's see how we do against Baltimore, and then let's talk. The way it's shaping up, that game's going to be fun to watch. Unfortunately, it's a 1:00 game, so it's not going to be in prime time.
Maybe he can get flexed.
Maybe first flex of the year.
So Washington plays Baltimore this coming week?
No, week after, next week.
Oh dang!
In Baltimore.
I'm gonna be in Maryland the day after.
Oh yeah?
What are you in Maryland for?
Yeah.
Wait, you're going to Maryland? I live near Maryland.
Yeah, I'll be in Bethesda, Maryland from Monday through Wednesday that week.
Oh shit! Yeah, you won't be able to come see me. Damn.
I'll have a rental.
You have what?
A rental car.
Yeah, you can come up and hang out.
Yeah. I'll see. I'll put it in the Google Maps. We'll see.
Sounds good.
All right.
What were we talking about?
I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Oh, we're talking about the Redskins, the Commanders.
Commanders and Ravens are playing each other in a couple weeks because they look.
Couple weeks, yeah.
They both look like solid teams.
They both win this upcoming week. It's going to be a great game to watch.
Surprising game.
Yes.
Would be good.
Both teams have had a surprising start.
Yeah.
To the year. Ravens not the surprising start you want, but they look like they've gotten on the right track. So we'll see how it continues this week. 49ers beat the Patriots. Not a surprise. Zero surprise. Raiders beat the Browns. Did y'all see what happened with 10 minutes left in the fourth? You talking about the refs loving Kansas City, right? I think the refs equally hate the Browns. Because, man, did they throw a controversial holding penalty on a 80-yard pass to Amari Cooper.
Yes.
That would have given Cleveland the lead.
Yes, I saw that. That made me so mad.
He's in my God.
He's in my dynasty league, and oh my God, that just was heartbreaking.
Oh.
I'm just
now. Would they have been able to hold on to the lead? Who knows? But 10 minutes left. But still, it would have given them the lead, and then they ended up having to punt. Yeah. They didn't get that touchdown. They didn't get any points on that drive.
Nope.
And then, speaking of Kansas City, Michael, Kansas City and your beloved Chargers. Talk to me.
I mean, we didn't have our bookend tackles for this game. Both Slater and what's his face were out. Joe Alt are rookie tackles, so that didn't help. And just Greg Roman is running the offense exactly how we thought it was going to be. Herbert's numbers are going to look like shit. And honestly, yeah, they need to figure something out in the passing game in San Diego.
Yeah, Los you can't Angeles. Just they look like shit, but we win some, we lose some.
Do you all trade for Devante?
I mean, it definitely couldn't hurt Herbert. I would definitely be on board with that.
Yeah, that would help out a lot.
Do you have I'm assuming you all have a second-round draft pick to give up? Because that's what the asking price is.
I'm sure they do. I think they could probably afford his contract right now.
I heard third-round pick.
Oh, everything I saw today was second round.
I heard from Diana Rossini via Twitter that it was a 3rd round pick. That's what I saw earlier. It may have changed. Worth it.
Are you willing to give up more? Because they're wanting a draft pick along with other compensation to go with it. You willing to do that, Michael?
I mean, yeah. If
Are you talking
but
about
I mean,
blowies?
Greg Roman's got to actually utilize him. That's the only thing. As long as our offensive coordinator stops running the ball a million times and actually lets Herbert air it out. But I understand when you're missing your starting tackles, it's not as easy to pass the ball. Their offensive line grades this week were garbage.
Sunday Night Football. Holy shit. If we thought the last week 3, if we thought that was an anomaly for Derrick Henry and the Ravens offense, guess again, because Derrick Henry just obliterated the Bills defense. Now it also helps when you run through a hole a semi could fit through. And I think he should be drug tested, by the way. There's no way a man that size should outrun everybody for 80 yards.
Especially at his age, he's outrunning cornerbacks.
Yeah, I mean, he
Standing
looked like he was
upright.
huffing and puffing at the end.
He's standing upright.
Yeah.
He's running
Yeah.
upright. It's fucking crazy.
I think this is exactly what Baltimore was hoping they'd get when they got Derrick Henry. So
I didn't know he
yeah,
had
looked
still
pretty
left
damn
in him.
impressive.
And I love how Jerry Jones says, "Yeah, we couldn't afford him." You could afford him. $8 million, you could afford that.
Yeah.
You could have done that.
You could have
You
figured
idiot.
something out.
And actually, Texas, no state income. You could have gotten him for $6 million or $5 million. You could have easily done that. I don't understand his line of thinking, but I guess I'll never know because that's a a multi-billion-dollar mindset, I guess, where you don't think you can afford $5 million for a transcendent running back like that. But I'm okay with it because now we don't have to worry about the Cowboys doing anything. With Derrick Henry back there, I might have to have worried about something. But Baltimore looks good. It's they look formidable. What happened with the Bills, man? They just got absolutely destroyed.
We all thought they were the best team there for a second.
Yeah. Just bad game.
Man, the NFL's wide open until the Chiefs make it to the playoffs and
Yep. Steamroll.
get handed wins.
The refs are driving the steamrolling truck. Flattening
Yeah,
out all the
I stopped like taking note of all the bad calls because it's just too consistent. I'm just like, you know what, screw it.
You have to overcome
It's
that.
inevitable. Yeah, you just have to account for an additional like 7 to 10 points against the Chiefs if you want to win, just to make up for the penalties the refs are going to call on you, or no call for the Chiefs.
You know how the NFL controls the games is through the reviews, but it's not through like the coaches' reviews. It's through the we're going to do a quick review, but they pick and choose the plays they want to do that for. Because there's some plays where like, oh my god, this is so obvious, and they just don't do it, and then the coach actually has to throw the challenge flag. So they can make coaches waste challenges. They can, let the refs not call a penalty, or they miss something, and they can just not review it, or they can't.
Yeah.
So they can just control the game.
Or based on that one Buffalo Wild Wings commercial, the guy who wants an extra round Ask the bartender to trip the player with a sprinkler.
Yes. It's basically that.
Oh yeah. Speaking of this game, probably a bigger story is that Rashee Rice is hurt, and so Chiefs are probably in the wide receiver market now.
Yo, Patrick Mahomes obliterated his knee.
Yes, he did. It's a big boy hitting your knee.
Yeah.
People don't realize how big Patrick is. He's a big dude.
That had to hurt.
He's got some weight behind him.
God.
Oh yeah, dude. He's like 240. Oh. I wonder if Jake from State Farm has him covered.
To add insult to injury, the whole play happened because Mahomes threw a god awful interception, and somehow Rashee Rice came in there and made a good play, forced a fumble on the Chargers cornerback Bolton, and then in the scramble, hyperextended his knee.
Oh, he tore his ACL, didn't he?
Yeah.
Is it confirmed full blown torn ACL?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that.
It was. I mean, did you watch the play?
I saw it. I mean, he bent his whole knee backwards in the wrong direction.
He's going full speed, and then Patrick Mahomes was coming at him and took his. I mean, that's.
Dude, I don't even want to stand up now. Like, it just.
I need to stop thinking about it. I mean, it's
nothing's worse than that
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb. Yeah,
I still to this day have not watched it. I almost watched it once, and I stopped myself. But I saw it
originally. I saw it originally, but I haven't seen it since. I don't want to see it. Just like the is it Kevin Ware?
Yeah, Kevin Ware. Yeah, Kevin Ware.
Louisville basketball player. We had another 2 games on Monday night this week. One of them, this was, I said earlier with the Broncos and Jets, one of the 2 ugly games. This was the other one. God, are the Dolphins awful? Just absolutely awful without Tua. Just so bad.
And they weren't even that good with Tua.
True.
Before he got injured, they weren't playing that well. So they are somehow playing worse than that. It's so bad to watch. And Will Levis is a shit show. And
I don't think he played though.
He did play.
He
got injured.
Will Levis played.
That's right. He hurt his shoulder.
After he threw a terrible interception to start the game, he made a dive to try and redeem himself, and ended up hurting himself.
I thought he hurt his shoulder when he extended for a first down.
That's what he was doing, diving for a first down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he was diving for a first down. Didn't get the first down. They had to punt, and he was injured after that and didn't come back, and Mason Rudolph came in and won the game for them.
Yeah, and now quarterback controversy in Tennessee.
I don't think there's controversy. I think that they said that Will Levis is going to be the starter. So that means there probably is a controversy. You're right. Whenever they say something is like someone is this thing, like a QB1 or something like that, they're not going to be QB for very long. QB1 for very long.
Yeah. And then the other game was the Seahawks and the Lions. It's a really good game. The Lions won 42-29. And your all's thoughts on this one?
Jared Goff, a perfect game. 18 for 18.
Set a record, NFL record.
Yeah.
Most completions without an incompletion.
Yep.
Geno Smith had a pretty damn good game too. Just overshadowed because they lost.
Yep. Almost 400 yards, right? Geno did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game overall. I had to go to bed because I was just tired, but it was a good game.
Metcalf, dude, there was a couple plays he made. It should be illegal to be that big and that athletic in football.
Yeah, I saw him dapping up Calvin Johnson on the sideline.
Uh-huh.
Dude, Calvin Johnson's bigger than him.
Yeah,
Like,
he makes the
like
Yeah.
by like
It's-
3 or 4
Metcalf look
inches.
smaller.
Yeah, I could not believe my eyes that Calvin Johnson was that big. God damn.
Yeah, and people were trying to say, "Oh yeah, DK Metcalf, he's basically Megatron light." I mean, like basically not as talented, but he's also just lighter and
Yeah,
small.
yeah. uh, oh shit! The Brewers hit. Oh, the
They
Brewers
won.
won.
Yeah, they tied the series. So one of the
5-3.
wild card series is going to game 3.
Shit. Not ours.
Hey, stop trying to jinx it. I know what you're doing over there.
I'm not trying to jinx it. I've been saying it the entire time that they're not going to. I'm not jinxing. So look at it this way. If one of us has to face the Dodgers, which team gives us the best opportunity to beat the Dodgers? The Padres or the Braves?
The
Yeah.
Braves.
The Padres.
The Braves.
Obviously,
Yeah.
shut the
Padres
fuck
have a
up.
winning record versus the Dodgers.
You're it's the Padres.
No. I like the Braves' chances. The Braves have the better chance. Let them in.
I'm okay with the Padres beating us because I know that they can beat the Dodgers. Because they did it last year, didn't they?
No, they did it the last time they were in the playoffs, which was 2 seasons ago,
2
2022
seasons?
playoffs in the divisional
Oh.
series. They beat them in 5
Yeah.
games. Yeah, and they won the season series record this year versus them. So
There we
yeah,
go.
no, if you're if you know your team's not going to make it and you hate the Dodgers, then yeah, Padres are probably one of the better options to bet on.
At the end of the day, it's fuck the Dodgers.
Agreed. Couldn't have said it better myself.
If you all
Regardless of
recall,
if you were a Dodgers fan or not, Brian.
the Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers last year.
Oh, it was the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew it was an
Yeah.
NL team or an NL West
NFC
team.
West team.
Yeah, NFC West team. I'll just say that. I knew it was the West team. Well, maybe it'll be a West team this year again.
All right. So as far as our game picks went for this week, Kyle and I went 11-5, and Chad and Michael, you all went 10-6 this week. So winning records overall for all of us.
Wow.
Those first couple weeks were rough.
Yeah.
The first week was good, but then the 2 weeks following was rough. Looking like the NFC East with how our records were going those last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, we have Thursday night football tomorrow. The Buccaneers in Atlanta. Buccaneers have been a really good team so far this year. Solid play from Baker, and their defense has been pretty good. Falcons, they still haven't found their way yet, but somehow they're favored in this game.
I mean, they're at home. That's
yeah,
probably
but
why.
are the teams that even for it to be a home advantage? I don't know. I don't like it. I'll take the Bucs with the points. Give me the Bucs and the points on this. I'll take that. That's without a doubt. I have the Buccaneers winning this game, and I don't even think it'll be close. 31-10. What do you think, Michael?
I'm gonna follow you on that pick and also say the Buccaneers are gonna win this game. I don't know, primetime Kirk. He's kind of broken that moniker, but yeah, I think just based on what team has better weapons right now, I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers.
All right. What do you think, Chad?
I mean, I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. They're it just makes the most sense. Baker's playing well. Their whole team's playing well. I mean, they lost. Who they lose to? They've only had one loss.
Broncos.
Broncos.
It was a bad game.
Yeah, just a bad
Everybody
game.
was riding high on them after they beat Detroit, and then they came out and
So it was a cooling off period, and then they
Yeah.
beat the Eagles. So
they did. They obliterated the Eagles.
I don't have a lot of faith in the Falcons. They don't play to their potential with all of their stars. They have so many stars on their team, but yet their offense is, it's only when they need it at the last second that they can use it. So
now I didn't get an official thing from Kyle, but I highly doubt he would pick Kirk Cousins in
Yes, I think we can all
this.
safely assume Kyle would never pick Kirk, right?
yeah, I don't think
I don't
so.
know.
I don't know. Yeah, no, he wouldn't pick Kirk.
Has he picked Kirk yet?
Against a good
last
team.
last week he did not. Week before that they played the Chiefs. He didn't pick them. Yeah, week 2 he didn't pick him, and I know for a fact he didn't pick him week 1. So he's yet to pick the Falcons. So I'm gonna actually no, I take that back. He did pick him to win week 1. That was against Pittsburgh. So, but I don't know.
I don't think he'll pick him. I think he'll pick the Buccaneers.
Yeah, but we don't know for sure. But we'll definitely get an answer before the game tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to you guys for the baseball stuff real quick. I'll touch base on the one college football matchup later. Your all's thoughts on the playoffs and who do you think is going to win it all?
Did you watch any of the games, Michael?
I have been trying to watch them here and there, but because of games, the wild card round starts in the middle of the workday. It's been kind of hard for me. I've really only watched the Padres games. Thankfully, they've been playing them late for us here on the West Coast. So yeah, based on everything I've seen, it's basically winning game 1 is really huge in these series. I think they said 14 out of the last 16 wild card series winning game 1, they go on and win the rest of the series. So that's really key in this series. So we'll see. One series has gone to game 3. This is definitely I'm still getting used to this wild card round, but it's fun. It's exciting. I don't know. Maybe in future seasons they'll expand it to more than 3 games. Give the opposing team a home game, but it's fun. Right now, it's looking good for my Padres, and I don't know. If I had to, even taking my bias out, there's a lot of people out there who are high on the Padres, and they think that if there's a dangerous team out there, it's the Padres. But we did just see Joe Musgrove exit the game, which could be a bigger deal than most realize. So that being said, I'm still gonna go. If I had to pick a World Series matchup, I'd go Yankees Padres, a repeat of the '98 World Series when the Padres made it last year. Which would be funny because those teams made a massive trade at the beginning of the season. The starter of Game 1 of this series against the Braves, Michael King, and a bunch of other players for Juan Soto, who's ended up being pretty good for the Yankees. It was like a win-win trade for both teams. So I think that would be a pretty cool matchup. Repeat of the '98 World Series, former players going against each other. Could be pretty fun.
Yeah. So the Royals knocked out the Orioles today. They only gave up 3 earned runs through 2 games. The Royals or the Orioles did, and they still lost. They lost game 1 1-0. They lost this game 2-1. So it was a tight game, but the Royals are back. It's been they won in 15, I think. And now they're back. I think I saw a stat before that the Royals, every time they've been in the playoffs, they've gone to the World Series. So
They have the longest active postseason winning streak.
Yeah, because
they haven't lost. I think it's like 9 straight games or something right now in the playoffs because their last time in they won the World Series.
Did they sweep the World Series? They might have.
I don't remember.
Well, the Tigers did everyone a favor in the major leagues and knocked the Astros out of the postseason. Those cheating motherfuckers are out of the playoffs and can no longer hurt anyone in the AL.
The Astros.
It looked like it was going to be a good game because the Astros were starting to come back, and then the Tigers the next inning put up 4. So it wasn't even close at the end. Was not a good game at the end, but it's good to see the Astros out. So now the ALDS, one of the games is set. The Tigers versus the Guardians. The Guardians are obviously the home team because they had the bye. They're the number 2 seed. And then the Royals will be playing the Yankees and these games are on Saturday?
All of them. Yep.
Saturday. Okay. So yeah, those games will be on Saturday. And then the Brewers, like we said before, won. So that game, so it'll be game 3 tomorrow. And whoever wins that will play the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Phillies are, if they have to play the Mets are kind of hot right now. I'd be scared to play them. Even though they lost this last game, they're still hot. So, and then lastly, Michael's game and my game. Padres are winning 5-2. I don't really see a comeback coming. It's not really worth it. There's too many injuries for the Braves to really make a run. Especially to our pitching. So, yeah, we're not gonna advance so that the Dodgers can auto advance. I'm
sorry. I was looking up some stuff while you all were talking. I was looking up what you all were talking about. Did you make a World Series pick?
I have not yet.
Okay.
I have the Phillies versus the fucking Yankees. Phillies versus Yankees, and then I will go with the Phillies because fuck the Yankees.
And did you pick the Padres, Michael, to win it all?
Yes.
Okay. Chad, I think you would know this better than anybody. Of the teams here, potentially here, who do you think Kyle goes with? Winning it all. Maybe not the matchup, but just winning it all. Get an answer from him on Saturday, but I was just curious what you think he would do.
I think he would say like the Mets or something. I don't know. He probably doesn't care because the Cardinals aren't in it.
Okay.
If either of our teams weren't in it, we probably wouldn't care as much.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'd watch. I mean, playoff baseball is good.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely an experience, and I want to go to it. I wish I could go to Game 1 on Saturday at the bank. It's gonna be fucking loud.
So speaking of oh well, I'll get to that in a second. So correct me if I'm wrong. Last year's World Series did not have the 2 number 1 overall seeds, correct?
Correct. They had the
There's 2
And
wildcard teams.
yeah.
the year before that, they didn't either, correct?
It was
Yeah, so
Phillies
we
and
probably one of the
Astros.
teams that played yesterday or this first yesterday or today, or could be a World Series champ.
So in the last 54 years, then, this is what I was looking up. In the last 54 years, only 12 times have both number 1 seeds met in the World Series. In the last 54 years, which is pretty crazy. So, being a number 1 seed doesn't really mean much when it comes to getting to and winning the World Series.
I'm turning this
Lucky
game
number
off.
lucky number 13 though this year. I'm picking both 1 seeds to go to the World Series. That's what I'm going to predict.
Yankees, Dodgers.
Yankees, Dodgers.
Gross.
I'm sure you all would
Sounds
love that World
awful.
Series match.
I would not watch it.
I'm sure the TV producers would love that because that would definitely be good for baseball ratings. But
I ain't watching that shit. Fuck that. Yeah, I mean, like the two teams that buy their players, they literally pay. Their payrolls are close to like pretty much to $1 billion.
And how is home field advantage work in baseball? Is it based on record?
I think
Or
it's
is it
based
based
on
on something
record.
else?
It used to be based off the All-Star game, but
Oh,
now
okay,
it's
so it
not.
did used to be that way.
It's not anymore.
Okay, so if that matchup was the case, then the Dodgers would have home field based on record. So yeah, I like that. I'll go with that. Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't care. I would not watch. Would you watch it, Michael?
I would turn it on and keep it in the background. But I would definitely be focusing more on NHL and NFL season.
Judge versus Ohtani?
It's not Judge versus Ohtani. Ohtani
Well,
can't
you know what I
pitch.
mean. Just hitting wise.
I don't like it. Doesn't move the needle. All these players. I mean, Aaron Judge was homegrown, but like half of the Dodgers payroll, which is like $2 billion, was all bought and paid for. You can't develop your own talent. You have to go buy it from other places. Cool. Don't care. Not gonna watch. It's just not exciting. It's not exciting
likely
to
not
see.
going to happen anyway. So.
Well, I hope it doesn't.
Just based on history.
Not if they throw Kershaw out there.
All right. Something that happened this past weekend, kind of a shock, not really expecting as far as NBA news goes. The Minnesota Timberwolves traded Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks. I think Michael, we talk about this on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Chad, I wanted your perspective on this. What do you think this does for the Knicks?
Well, the reason they had to do this is because they didn't sign Hartenstein. So they had to go trade for him. I think it's a good trade. I think it's a great trade. It fills a need, but they also give up two huge pieces. I mean,
well, Julius Randle couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Yeah.
But Dante DiVincenzo was a huge piece for their run last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I mean, if Cat puts out, then it's worth it.
But they're fighting for second place in the East. So
always, I mean, isn't everybody except for
well,
the
yeah,
Celtics?
no, that's what I'm saying. Until proven otherwise, just like we say with other things, the Celtics are going to be the first seed. There's no reason to disbelieve that. Now it's just between the Sixers and the Knicks now for second. All right, so the only big matchup this weekend for college football is the Missouri at Texas A&M, SEC matchup, both ranked. That's really it. The rest of the games, most of the teams have easy games this weekend. But speaking of college football, in 2 weeks, Miami visits Louisville. I will be going to that game.
Oh, you're going? Nice.
We are going. Kyle and I are going, actually.
Nice. Sounds like fun.
And we are at about the 15-yard line on the Louisville side, 5 rows back.
Nice.
So pretty nice seats.
Nice.
Pretty nice. So the fees are ridiculous, by the way. Ticket fees.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. But anyway,
Game time?
Huh?
Did you use Game Time to buy the tickets? Or did you use
no.
like StubHub or something?
SeatGeek.
TickPick is one I've looked at, has pretty good deals.
No, I use SeatGeek. All right. Anything else, guys? Good? Okay.
Go Padres. Good luck to your Braves.
You're dead. Don't patronize me. Shut up.
All right. We'll be back on Saturday. We'll have the next matchups as far as officially in the Major League Baseball playoffs, and we'll preview Week 5 in the NFL. We'll talk to you then. Bye.